Sure. Okay, we are live, I believe. We're trying to get this situated. Okay, so if you are on, let me know if you can hear us okay. We're gonna try this out and see, but we're in quarantine right now. So if you're tuning in, let us know that you hear us and where you're tuning in from. Give us that green light because I haven't checked to see if this is good. Is it good?
Let me see.
We're gonna see.
I don't got YouTube.
It's fine. I think we're okay. I think someone is on, but we got a few questions from you all on Instagram and also here on YouTube. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into those questions. I have a few things that we can't really update you guys on right now. Yet, yes. But we're excited. Hopefully, if everything works out all right, maybe in a month we can. So a lot of exciting things happening, but it's kind of a stressful situation that we are all dealing with, right? It can bring about a lot of anxiety and stress, and just all of these emotions are going to be rising up for us during this time that we have never experienced before. And so we just wanted to say hi and just kind of do something a little different, I guess. We've done Q&As in the past, and we got maybe like a couple questions that is more personal, not budget related. So if you all have any questions at all, if you're on, go ahead and shoot the questions here and we'll get to answering those in just a minute. So if you're hopping in just now, you're tuning in, let us know that you see everything okay and we have a good connection. But yeah, so we're just gonna start with the first question that we got. I'm just gonna get into it. So Beth asked, where did you all meet?
Church.
We met at church, but what specifically? Like, what were we doing when we met?
We were setting up for that hell thing we would do.
Can you hear him okay? He speaks kind of low.
I don't yell.
He doesn't yell. I'm very loud spoken. Yeah, that's just by nature.
Gonna get on your face.
Hi, Stephanie. Okay, good. You have a good connection. Awesome. It goes away.
Oh.
Yeah. So we met at church. I was 17 years old and you were 19. So I had just moved to Rochester, New York. And it was the first church that I attended. And I think it was maybe, I don't know. It was in Halloween time because our church did something called the Heaven and Hell Experience. And so he was helping like put up all of the things in the basement.
The basement.
Yeah. And that was the first time that we talked to each other. So setting up.
Somehow we were left, like there was a bunch of people helping and set up, and all of a sudden we look around, it's just us two. And my dad and her mom
were
down there too, but they were kind of doing something else, and we're looking around and it's just us two. And we were putting something up and we just started talking.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you gave me your number that same day.
No, it wasn't that day. It was on a Wednesday.
The Wednesday.
Yeah.
After that.
It was a Wednesday. I gave him I asked for his number and I called him that same night. So yes,
She called me first.
I called him first. Okay. Yeah. I did. I made the move. Oh, come on. You're so dumb. So yeah, we met at church and then yeah, been together ever since.
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
11 years ago.
So now this is the part where we got more into like budgeting and finance. So Renisha asked, do you combine income or separate?
Combined.
So we always do everything together. We are on each other's accounts. There's not like, we don't have a personal account where it's only like his money. How am I going to say it? We're on each other's accounts, but one of them we treat as like his account and the other one as mine, but we're joint so we can see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no like hidden stuff.
There's our main account. That's where what we use. That's our main account. It's joint.
Yeah, our main account.
And then there's the other account with the other bank that we have separately.
Yeah.
But you know, we still like we still log into the same account.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the app, we log into the account and we can see. I can see her account and then mine.
Yeah.
So
this is we have quite a few accounts actually. So we have our main account. Our main account is where our direct deposit from our jobs go into and where all of our bills get paid out of. So that's what we call like our main account. And then we have two other accounts that we're both on. One of them is his account and one of them is mine, and it's in another bank. And then we have our emergency savings that's in an online bank. So we purposely did it that way so that it's not easily accessible. We can still have access to it in case an emergency happens, but it's not like right there on our main account. So at first we had our emergency savings attached to our main account, and we did so many transfers from the savings to the checking account because we saw that money there every time, right? Didn't we?
Yeah, we would take some from there, but now having it separately, it's more of a hassle to try to transfer and do all that stuff. So we just it makes us just not use it.
Yeah.
Because there's more involved to whatever.
Having
it's all
to
online and
yeah.
It's a little more.
Which is
difficult.
good.
And it's good because we don't use it.
Right.
Because before we can just it just took a couple little clicks and we just transfer $20 from the savings, and then it was we're gonna go out to eat. Let's just transfer $20-$30 over, and it was so easy. It took a few seconds and a couple clicks, but now it's
a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
More challenging.
So.
I think you should scoot up a little bit more because you're far back. Right? Should he move up? What do you think?
No.
He's a little far back, and I don't know if you guys can hear him okay.
They can hear me fine.
So yeah, that kind of answers that question. We've always done that. And then Jennifer Dixon, she asked.
I can't read that. I can't see it. Did we sell our home or refinance? We did do something. We are doing something with our home, but we're not going to say yet.
We can't say yet. We can't. So, it's really exciting, but we can't say anything yet. Sorry, we couldn't answer that question.
Yeah.
But we will.
We
will answer that.
Real soon. We'll answer that in a couple weeks, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so another question regarding finances is, when did you guys decide to combine your incomes? And a follow-up to that is, how is it agreeing to everything each month? And does it ever become hard to talk about finances? Well, I kind of answered the first part of that. We started combining our income The moment that we got married.
The moment she moved in to my
I think
apartment.
it was actually before.
Before.
When we were engaged, I think is when I was added to his account because where we bank, it was originally his account. It was originally his bank. So I decided I was just going to go ahead and be added to his account, and we started from there and figuring out how to do life. Like if we can, how am I going to say this? I know what I want to say, but it's hard to get it out in words. Before we got married, we wanted to know with our income, could we pay like the rent? Because he had an apartment. And we had like other bills and stuff. So that was one thing. However, when we first got married, we did not have a car payment. We always bought cars cash when we were in college, or when I was in college, and when he first started working. Like we never had car payments.
No.
And then that kind of changed later on in our marriage.
Your car broke down.
Yeah, because my car broke down.
We were broke. We didn't have money to buy another one, so
yeah,
that's when I got my truck, my red truck.
Mm-hmm. Do any of you remember your first car that you ever bought cash? That was like your junker that you always had to pray every time that you got in the car and driving. I had the worst cars. Let me know what your worst car was.
Cars.
I'm telling you, I had what was the one car that had the heater that broke?
It was a Hyundai.
The Hyundai. I don't even know what kind of car this was.
I think it was an Elantra. It was an old Hyundai. It was old Hyundai. It was bad. Yeah.
I remember, I will never forget this. So I went over to his house.
It was an Accent. Hyundai Accent.
Hyundai Accent was the worst car that I had.
Ugly color. It was like this. It almost looked like you took like a guava color and just like rolled it around in dirt. It was like a dirty guava. I don't even know how to explain that color. That question there.
Yeah,
we'll answer it.
So, if any of you remember your worst car, let me know what it was, what was wrong with it. Let me share my worst car. It was that one, the Hyundai Accent, and we lived in upstate New York. Okay, freezing.
This day it was like 20 below.
It was 20 below. It was horrible. And now at that time, my heater broke in my car. Stopped working. It was just done. There was no way of it wasn't even worth fixing. So we had a portable heater thing that you would plug into the, what is it?
Into the cigarette lighter.
The cigarette lighter. And we had that portable thing, and it
was this little thing.
My windshield was completely covered inside with frost, with ice. So I'm all there with a credit card trying to scrape off the ice that was built up inside the car because I couldn't see. It was so cold inside. So we bought that, and I'm trying to defrost a little patch on my windshield. So I was literally just seeing through a tiny little square like this, driving, and it was very risky.
Which one of these? I'm trying to see if I can find the color.
Well, and so that was my worst car. My worst car. So second part of the question, let's answer that. Mm-hmm. How is it agreeing to everything each month, and does it ever become hard to talk about finances?
It's never been hard to talk about finances with us, I don't think. I don't remember ever arguing about finances or anything. It's a great thing because most marriages.
Our dog is making these noises. I'm sorry, he's distracted. Enzo, okay.
He's just staring. Most marriages, the number one argument is money, it's finances, and sometimes I'm just like, why? I don't understand it because we don't argue about it. Some people might say, "Oh, you're lying." It's like, no, we really don't. There's other stuff that we argue about. You know, every marriage has issues. We have our issues, but money is not one of them. Finance is not one of them. You know, it's just we kind of. Oh, that's the guy who wants to do the fan.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm looking at the windows right here in front of us, and I saw a guy passing his. Anyways, um, yeah, it's just it's easy for us to talk about finances. We always kind of sit down and say, "Oh, we're gonna do this and this," and we're like, "Okay, let's do it." You know, if there's something that Lizzie's like, "Hey, I don't know how should we do this? How should we do that?" And I just say, "Oh, let's just take money from this other thing and then use it for that." You know, if for some reason our check or whatever it's a little less than the week before or whatever.
Yeah.
So what we do is, since she puts money in the envelopes, instead of, let's say, putting money towards vacation or Christmas gifts or something, we just, okay, this time around we'll just take that and put it in our main account because we need it for whatever. So, you know, it's easy for us to kind of figure out. I'm really good at figuring things out.
Yeah.
I'm really good at it. I'm good at like troubleshooting and kind of like taking an issue and just say, okay, let's just take this big issue and just like take it one piece at a time and figure it out. I'm good at figuring stuff out. So anytime she's freaking out about what should we do about this, I say, oh, we'll just do this. It's just kind of obvious to me what to do.
We've always been. I mean, even before we were married, when you're hitting this and it's shaking.
I didn't realize it.
Even before we were married, we've always been kind of on the same page of what our goals were. So I think that has a lot to do with it on where we are today in our marriage, but specifically for our finances part. We've just always been on the same page when it came to that and what our goals are. And especially like with the whole tithing topic that I've gotten a lot of questions on in the beginning of my channel. I've gotten a lot of questions on why is it important to tithe, and you know, like, why do you do it? And it's just really like curious questions, I want to say. Not necessarily hate. Some of them, yes, I've gotten hate, like straight up. People criticizing us for doing that, but majority it's just people being curious as to why do you do that, and you know, why is it important to you guys. And you want to share about the time when we didn't tithe and how we struggled in New York, where it was like things were tight?
You know, we believe all. The Bible says that all silver and gold belongs to the Lord, which means all finances. And we believe that. We believe God blesses people with finances. Some people he allows to have more. It's not so much a blessing, but he's just allowing people. But to us, it's always he's blessed us with everything we need. And I think it's because we give. When we give, the Lord gives back. It doesn't always mean like we're gonna get a check in the mail or something, but he puts opportunities in our path for us to be able to take advantage of and get some sort of income from it. So I think that's where the blessing comes from. Sometimes you just have to work for it. So there was a time where we kind of just didn't tithe. Couple times. It wasn't a lot. It was only a couple times. And we noticed things were kind of a little more difficult for us for some reason. It was just like a little tighter. I remember that one day that we literally had nothing.
We didn't have money to pay our mortgage. We didn't have enough to cover our mortgage payment, and then.
But there was the one time I remember where we didn't have money for gas.
Oh yeah.
We literally had like I don't even think we had anything in our account.
We didn't have money in our savings. We
didn't
had
have
zero
nothing,
savings.
and my tank was like on empty, and we didn't have money to put gas in it. I can't even remember what we did to put gas in the car, but it's one of the examples is,
Yeah.
you know, it just, stuff was just not working out. And, you know, I believe that's just, you know, we're just being obedient and just giving.
One thing that I heard, because we were a part of Financial Peace University, and then we were also coordinators of Financial Peace University at our church. And one thing that Dave Ramsey, he talks about is generosity, right? To be generous. And he says that if you are holding on to your income, you know, your money, and you're holding it with this tight fist, well, nothing else can enter into your hands. But if you have your hand open, extended to give, having it open, you have the opportunity to also receive. So when you are looking at generosity, don't look at it with like, I want to hold on to what I was given, and that. Have it with an open hand, because you will not only be able to be a blessing to someone else, but you will also receive a blessing from someone else. So that's just something that really spoke to us. But let me get to this question that I saw here.
I have it right here.
Oh. Courtney, okay, says,
Okay.
I am about to start cash envelopes for the first time. I'm 22 and I think now is the perfect time. One thing I'm confused on is, when would you suggest depositing money? When they are full? So I only withdraw money that is for specific things that I know I will spend on. So what is in my wallet, so I have a cash envelope wallet that has only a few envelopes that I withdraw and I stuff. So that is, the main one is our grocery envelope. We withdraw cash for our groceries. We withdraw cash for our pet envelope, so that's to buy food for our dogs. We withdraw for medical expenses, so we go to the doctor. We've been going to the doctor quite a bit, actually, and so that's to cover any co-pays. For the home, toiletries, and oh my gosh, eating out if we eat out, which we haven't been eating out, and then our spending envelope. Then we have a separate category that we would draw cash for, and that's for not our regular spending. So that's Christmas. I would draw physically out of the bank the cash for Christmas, for saving for our vacation. Any future plans that we have, we would draw the cash out of our account. That's just a personal preference that I feel. It works in my head. Not seeing it in the account, because I'm not able to confuse using that money that is meant for those other things. So we have our direct deposit going into our main account, and then from our main account is where we withdraw and we pull our money for those specific cash envelopes. And so that just works for us. And then we transfer into our emergency fund whatever we have available to transfer out of our account. So based on our paycheck budget. So if you are here, you know that we are monthly budgeters. So we make out a plan for the month. This is what what our goals are. We would rather save or pay off debt or whatever the case is. And we have those discussions through texting. So our budget meetings is not really a sit down like this and we're having a heart to heart. Sometimes we do that in the kitchen table, but then literally I'll say, can you log into every dollar? I want you to look at this. and let me know if you have to if we have to change something. And then he'll send me a response back, and that's just kind of how it works. So that's why I like to budget have a digital budget, because he's able to see any changes, I'm able to see any changes, and we are kind of on the same page that way. So we are a monthly budgeter. We do that, and then we also break things down paycheck to paycheck. That is the most important part of it, because our paychecks are different. You get paid bi-weekly, and I get paid bi-monthly. So, and they kind of land on different days. It can be confusing, but it works out doing it that way. So we leave the money in the bank, and we only withdraw cash for a specific reason, and we have that conversation for that. So if you guys right now have any other questions, because that's what we got ahead of time. Oh, and then to answer corny ending question about if we deposit the money from our cash envelope. So I do the Walmart grocery pickup or Instacart. I love it. We haven't been able to do that in quite some time, just because of the, stocking and if they have things in stock. But what we do is we'll go ahead and we'll order. I'll place the order, and he reviews it, and he says what I need to add or not. And then we'll place the order. I'll see what the total amount is, and then I'll use the cash that I withdrew for the groceries, and I go to the bank and I deposit that amount. It's really that simple for me, but I know some people aren't like into budgeting and all of that stuff. I don't know why. It just gives me like I get excited when I write down a budget. I am the nerd, serious nerd. I am the super nerd in this household.
And I mean,
you're into it.
But budgeting, you're just planning.
Yeah.
Just planning what you're gonna do with your money. I mean, that's so important, to plan what it is that you're gonna do with your money. I mean, I don't understand how some people just kind of just go through life and not plan, kind of just use their card, their debit card or whatever, whenever. And it's just like, how do you not keep track, I don't understand how some people do that. So it's kind of just planning. Yeah. Just planning ahead and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do with this. So, and it's just...
And I have to say, so I work at a bank, okay? And I see so many young people, not to pinpoint, it's not only young people, but a lot of them. And many adults, right? You look at your bank account and you see, I have, I don't know, let's say $500 available in my bank account. So I have $500 available to spend. Let me correct you on that. You do not have $500 to spend, because you need to think about, okay, when is the next time you're going to get paid? Do you have subscriptions that is to come out of your account in 2 days? Spotify, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, iTunes. What are these other subscriptions that you have, or automatic bills that is to come out of your account tomorrow, in 3 days? You're just telling yourself you have $500 to spend, and then you go off to the store, you end up spending $300 of those dollars, leaving you with $200. Then these bills come out, and I see these accounts going into the negative. You're getting charged $35. You're getting charged those maintenance fees. And then you wonder, well, I looked at my account, and they come to me. They come to me and they sit at my desk and saying, I looked at my account and I had X amount of dollars. And I look at them and I say, well, I see that this came out. Do you have a subscription for Amazon Prime? And they say, well, yeah, but I didn't know it was going to come out. So you're aware that you are enrolled in this. Yes, I am. Well, why don't you have it written down on a calendar so you wouldn't have spent that money, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
like I said, it just takes a little bit of planning. Just kind of know when something is supposed to come out. Like if like what you were saying, if I have $50 in my bank account, and I know I have to fill my tank 2 times in a week, and I have $50. Let's say my tank is full, and I know that in 3-4 days I'm gonna have to fill it again, and it fills up with $30. So that means I don't have $50. I have 20 because I'm gonna need 30 to fill my car. So those are the things you need to pay attention to. So let's say in 2 days, I have half a tank, and then I have $50 in the account, and then I go to the mall and say, "Ooh, I like this shirt. It's $30," or these jeans, and you buy them. Now you don't have enough to fill your car with gas.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're gonna find yourself towards the end of the week trying to find how you're gonna put gas in your car to go to work, because you don't get paid for another day or two.
So let me ask you, because I remember when it was before we were engaged, you had a full-time job. How did you handle your money then?
How?
How did you handle your money?
I wasn't that good at it.
Yeah. What did you do with it, is what I'm asking.
Um,
Just give us a little background of how your mindset was.
my mindset was, if it was in there, that means I had it. And then I would spend it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't very smart with my money at all. I was really into like sneakers and stuff. I had a lot of sneakers, and I always liked getting a hat to match my sneakers. So, there was times where I would go, 2 times in a week and get a pair of sneakers. And, then next thing you know, like when I had to get gas or something for my car, then I was negative in my account because I went to the mall a couple of days before that.
I remember that.
So I wasn't good at all with money.
Mm-hmm.
Because
what made you change your mindset of handling money?
Well, you. that was.
I think I remember it was before. So I took personal finance in college. So I heard about Dave Ramsey. I heard about the envelope method. All of those things. But unfortunately, I did it ish. So if you ever heard Dave Ramsey say anything about Dave Ramsey ish is a wish, I was that way. And I really didn't go all into depth of his method, but I heard of it and I knew that a budget was important. So I remember when, again, it was before we were engaged, I said, you need to write out what your bills are, I think. And then don't spend that money. Just very simple. He's like, well, I don't do that. I don't do the whole budget thing. Whatever. I'll just look. And I'm like, well, maybe put it in your calendar. I'll do it for you. So I remember that's when I first started putting it on my phone and my calendar app. So I didn't have a planner at that time, but I put it in my calendar. I'm like, Emma's iTunes, Emma's Netflix. And I did that because I didn't have any bills. I don't think. I had maybe my car insurance and my phone. No, you paid for my phone. Yeah. So I just had my car insurance that I had to worry about. And then I contributed to rent for living at my mom's house. So that was really it. And so I told him, and he was okay. He was better at managing his money then. We have a few comments. Let me see if I can get to this.
And I think it all depends on what your priorities are too. Priorities have a lot to do with how you spend your money. Depends on what your mindset is, and my priority was, I just wanted to look good. I wanted new sneakers, and I always had new sneakers. I mean, people that know me, my sneakers are always super clean. I mean, I've had sneakers for 3 years and they still look like new because I clean them. I keep them real clean. So, that's what my priority was. And I think that's what, with that question, I think that's what brings a lot of arguments when it comes to finances, because
Of what, not combining?
people's priorities.
Okay.
So, you know, some people, they want to go shopping. They want a new shirt, another new shirt, or they want more of this, or more makeup, or more sneakers, or, you know, video games, or whatever it might be. And then
I
they
feel
end
like
up
people want to
overspending, and then they want to kind of keep up with
the Joneses.
the neighbors, or keep up with just
your friends, your family,
the world, just keep up with the trends and stuff, and then you end up using money that you really don't have. Then you start using credit cards and all this stuff, and then, you know, arguments come out of that because your priority is to look or seem a certain way. And I think that's why we don't have financial like arguments and stuff, because our priorities are not to have things or try to seem like we have more than what we do. You know, we're just kind of like, we make money, we pay our bills, we eat. As long as we have what we need, we're good. Everything else is kind of just a treat, you know?
So Olivia asked, how did you adjust your finances as a married couple? I just got married, so the budget has changed. Well, when we first got married, I wasn't all serious about budgeting. If I'm to be perfectly honest with you, be real, we did a handwritten budget. I remember getting a notepad, and I would write down our income, how much your hourly rate was, and then we figured out an estimate of what our monthly income was. I remember listing out all of our bills and then figuring out what was the remaining amount. So I'm like, well, we have $350 left. Let's spend that. And so we were, like I said, from before we got married, we did everything joint. We did everything together. And that is something that we knew because we went through pre-marriage counseling. And that was one of the lessons that they went over, is your finances, how to deal with that. So we went through that, and that's what I feel has given us success. And then Olivia also asked that, also, how do you do tithe? Is it off of one income or both incomes? That is off of both.
Both, because we don't have two incomes, we have one, because it's all combined. What's mine is hers, what's hers is mine. Everything gets deposited to one account, so it's one.
And we both see it.
It's always one, so we tithe from one, because we are one. So when there's a marriage, you're not two people, you're one. So
yeah,
you know, that's the whole mindset of this. We tithe from the one, which is ours.
So, but we do tithe, like when I get paid, which is on a different day sometimes. We're going to tithe that day now. We do it electronically instead of withdrawing the money. So when I see that deposit going in, I'll say, hey, my paycheck was this. I'm going to go ahead and tithe to the church. So I'll go ahead and I'll do that. And we usually round up when we tithe. Just makes it a lot easier in the budget when you're writing everything out. And then we just go ahead, log in, give, and that's it. And then we'll see it like the next day or a day or two, it withdrawn from our account. And that's how we track that. Shoot, I said before. What do you do with bonuses or money that you don't know that you will be receiving? I got 2 bonuses for work, and family gave me money for helping them out.
Save it.
So here's my suggestion. It's honestly whatever is most important to you. Whatever like your goal, your family money goals are, it's whatever is that top priority.
There's been times where we have some extra money. Maybe I did a side job, or Lizzie gets a bonus or something. And sometimes we're like, hey, we got this extra money. Let's go shop. There's times where we've gone shopping. There's times where we're like, oh, let's go to this restaurant we haven't gone in a while, because it's extra. So we just kind of do something fun or do something for ourselves or treat ourselves or something. But then there's other times where we have said, okay, we need to save because we have a goal, which is like when we were gonna
Baby
buy
step.
our
Oh
cars
yeah.
or anything like that. Any extra money, we say, okay, we have to save it because this is our goal. But again, you don't always have to save it. You don't always have to do that. Not but sometimes you know you want to treat yourself, not that every time you get something you're just going to treat yourself just because you have it, but just be wise with it. Just think about, okay, what am I trying to accomplish? What do I just think about the future? I say, okay, if I made an extra $100 and I want to buy whatever, oh, I need a new phone or a new laptop or something, I have $100, I'm gonna put 75 towards
Oh,
that and then keep 25, you know. So just be wise with it and stuff.
do you want to share the big one of the changes that happened?
What happened? Oh, the phone. I got a new phone.
He got a new phone. But now it's not an emergency, but when people can't get through to you on your phone, and your phone is a form of communication, which that is a priority. He has a business, and he was receiving like missed calls and voicemails and things that he didn't even hear his phone ring.
My messages, like I actually
his-
get them really late.
His phone is just like acting, and I don't know why.
It's all messed up. The mic doesn't work. I can only answer calls through speaker. So if I'm around people and I have like an important call, I have to like walk away and go like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So for us, that was very important, and it was an emergency. I mean, not life or death emergency, but he needs a phone that actually works, and especially for his business and stuff. So we decided that we are gonna, for the time, add the payment amount to our, because we have T-Mobile, and we're just gonna have our phone bill increase by, I think it's what, $25?
$29.
Yeah, let's say $30.
Yeah.
And so that's a change that's gonna happen next month, I think.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Should by the next billing
So
cycle.
we paid what, 85?
For what?
What we had to pay.
$88.
We paid $88 for this phone. Like the
It was
deposit or something. Or the taxes.
And the first month of the payment.
So that's a change that took place, but it's kind of an urgent.
It's kind of one of those things that you're just like,
Do you?
well, I mean, I need this thing,
Do you not?
you know.
Yeah.
So, and we didn't have, I mean, we had
the
the money to just buy it cash, but
it wouldn't be smart.
It just wouldn't be smart to just take $700.
Yeah.
And buy a phone
So
right now.
we'll pay it. Yes, it's going to increase our debt.
Yeah.
Total, but
We'll pay it off.
we will pay it off, and that's what we.
That'll
ended
be
up
our
doing.
next goal, is to kind of try to pay that off early.
And so another thing is that he has this phone that he can just go ahead, and that's what we usually do. Whenever we get a new phone, if we have an old phone, he sells it on eBay. So he's gonna sell it as is. It is a little damaged because of the whole, but it still works okay.
I'm sure usually a lot of people buy phones on eBay. They repair them.
So
and stuff. So it just needs a new mic.
And what will
and
we do with that
probably
money? We'll just
probably apply it towards the new phone
towards the
to
phone.
pay off. I get it tomorrow, actually. I'm excited.
You get it tomorrow?
Yeah, I get it tomorrow.
Yes.
Monday.
Let's see. That's what my husband and I do. We treat ourselves to one extra dinner and then out the remaining towards savings to help our cushion. Mm-hmm. What I think is so critical is how not only every household's budget is different, but even within the household, month to month, the budget is different. Yes, because different things pop up monthly. Absolutely. Seasons change. Right now it's really hot here in Florida. And
Yeah.
so we're using our AC like,
We got that thing at like 72.
and I posted something on my Instagram and I got a
What is it?
lot.
What is it right now?
I got a lot of responses on it, but it was how, and this is something that I got from our energy service. And I thought it was good information, so I wanted to forward it on to my viewers and everyone. And one of the things is how you can lower your bill for your electric. And they said that the standard temperature that is like the perfect and the prime number is having your AC or your heater, I don't know, set to 78 degrees. Here, 78 degrees and for our AC is way too hot.
It gets hot.
It gets really, really hot and humid. And the thing is, in Florida, you have to be really careful because you can have mold.
Because of the humidity.
Because of the
it can
humidity.
cause mold. So,
Yes.
you're not. Well, you could if you want, but then you're gonna have to suffer the consequences later. But it's not good to shut off your AC. You should always have it on, at least the fan running.
Yes.
And then have if we go out for vacation for a weekend or something, we raise it to about 76, 77 or something. And then we just keep it so it's running, so there's air circulating, because the humidity here, it's bad.
It is
so it
really
can
bad.
cause some mold issues in the wall and stuff. So it's not advised to have your AC higher than like 77 or 78.
But if you live up north and it's a little cooler, then,
Yeah.
and it's not as humid, then maybe that pertains to you. But that is not applicable to us, unfortunately. I was just sharing information that I found online. So, let me see. Any last minute questions that you all may have for us? Let us know, because we're about to wrap up. We've been on for 47 minutes,
Did we answer the second part of that question?
How is agreeing each month, and does it ever become hard to talk about finances?
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, Katie, you haven't been able to do the 78 degrees in Arizona or Oklahoma?
Yeah, it is hot.
Yeah.
We have it set now, 73?
73, yeah. Because it got hot.
Yeah. That, actually, 73 might seem hot to some people that live, like, up north or something, but when it's, like, 90 degrees outside, 73 feels so good.
Oh my gosh,
Man, this Florida sun is so hot. And there's no clouds on the sky, so it's like, oh my god.
Question, would you guys, I don't think I've ever really shared how our whole moving process was. We moved from upstate New York to Florida 2.5 years ago, I think. Was it 2? Almost 3 years that we've been here.
It's
gonna be 3 years that we've been living in Florida, and it's just the craziest story ever. It's the craziest story.
Forever. Reminded me of that.
Oh, Maria, thank you so much. Mine is not a question, but I want to thank you because you have been so inspiring to me when budgeting. Thank you so much. That means a lot. We moved from Arizona to Oklahoma, and that was a crazy move and expensive. Oh my gosh, it was so expensive moving here.
We tried, this is what I wanted to do. In my head, I said, you know what? We're gonna have our rent one of those pods or whatever and fill it with all of our stuff and then just have it shipped.
Oh,
and then we'll have our cars
easy.
shipped, and all we gotta do is just get in a plane and fly over. Yeah, right. That would have been easily almost 10 grand to do that. It's insane.
Crazy.
The pod, it was gonna be about almost $4,000. And that was like a small one. It wasn't even like a big one. It was, I don't know, 12 feet or something. Um, and then the cars, it was gonna be like $2,000 or something like that to ship the cars, and then we would have had to fly and all that kind of stuff. It was
Crazy.
gonna add up like crazy.
Mm-mm.
So I said, no, never mind.
No.
So we rented
We'll
a
do it
truck.
old school and
drove.
drive.
I mean, the difference. The truck was about a little over 1,400. One way from upstate New York to Florida, Central Florida. I mean, from 14 to what the pod was gonna be is gonna be almost $4,000. So that's a big difference. And then with gas and everything, it was a couple grand, with the truck and gas and all that kind of stuff. But it still saved us a lot of money,
Yeah.
a whole lot of money.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to along the way. So the first time when we came, we left his truck. So we stayed with friends of ours who are in South Carolina. So that was like our halfway point. And we were just hanging out with them for a little bit. And then we continued our trip here in Florida. And we stayed at a hotel for, I think it was 8 days we were
9
there.
days.
9 days at a hotel because we were doing interviews and all of that. And
We got our keys to our apartment.
finalizing a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
We got the keys to our apartment the day before we went on a 7-day cruise. So I don't recommend doing that on your trip.
But the cruise was already like planned before we planned to move.
Yeah.
Actually, because the cruise was planned
a year,
at least a year
at least
prior.
a year.
And we didn't. I mean, we planned. We made the decision to move, and 3 months later we were here. So it was so fast.
It was really fast.
So it wasn't planned at all.
It was sudden.
I mean, it was planned, but it wasn't planned to happen that quick.
Yeah, no. And so then when we came back from the cruise, we flew to New York. And then we were
there for 2 or 3 days.
We were there for
And then
a
we
few
drove
days.
with the moving truck and your car.
Yep, and we drove down with my car. So we had my parents that helped me, and his friend helped with the move. But that trip was, oh my God, it was horrible.
It wasn't that bad.
It was bad in the car.
Well, for you, because Delilah was getting sick.
My dog, she was all throwing up in the back seat. I'm holding her in the back seat of the car, and we have a bunch of stuff in the car, and I'm uncomfortable. I have 2 dogs on my lap. It was just so crammed. And she got sick, and then
That's
finally,
a couple of times. I mean, she
she
was
got sick.
throwing up
Ugh.
twice her body weight. It was crazy. I said, "There's no way all this comes out of you." Yeah.
But we got rid of a lot of our furniture and things.
We got rid of a lot of stuff. We bought a new couch here and a new bed for us, and
Yeah.
I mean, the only big stuff we brought over was our original bedroom set and our dining table. That's it.
And 2 chairs.
And the 2 chairs.
Yeah.
But I'm saying big stuff.
Oh, the big stuff,
It was
yeah.
just the bedroom set and the dining room table, and that's it. The rest we sold.
Yeah.
And then that was another thing is, that was part of the expenses of moving is a friend of mine that helped us move. We actually paid for his plane ticket to fly from Florida back to New York because he was helping us come and move. So
And
we paid for everything for them, and then we paid for her parents to fly back. So all of that was added on.
And that was the first time that I experienced a hurricane.
A week after we
Hurricane
moved,
Irma
there was a hurricane.
Came, and then that was the time where soon after that, Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico. So that was that year that we moved. So just a lot has happened since coming here, and but we're blessed.
We love it here.
Here
I'm
in
not going
Florida
anywhere.
was the second time around of me launching my YouTube channel. So if those of you who do not know, when I was in New York, I started Naturally Lizzie, and it was originally supposed to be for my curly girl journey. That's why I had the name Naturally Lizzie. So the first video, if you, just to be curious, go ahead and search oldest video. And there's going to be one video there because I removed 2 of them because it didn't pertain at all to my channel. But the first video you're going to see is the aloe vera and apple cider vinegar. And you're going to see me like up on the screen, like holding this big old leaf. And I have just music playing, and I'm doing this natural skin stuff.
So it's supposed to be like a way to
like all
you know,
natural
skincare and
hair
care, like natural
and
ways. To
so
do
I
it.
was doing that for a while. I actually have, I think maybe 4 or 5 videos, and then I just stopped because we were moving, and I lost the motivation, I lost the interest, and then I just completely stopped that journey, period. And then it was me discovering, or him discovering Dave Ramsey, and I watched Jordan Page video, and that's when I came out with the first video pertaining to finances and budgeting. And it was like the 5 tips to financial freedom or something like that. I don't remember. So that was the first video of me relaunching this YouTube channel. And I was debating whether or not to change my name from Naturally Lizzie to my Etsy name, Budget Essentials. But everyone was just like, no, just keep Naturally Lizzie because you're just being you and whatever, sharing what you love. So I just stuck with the name Naturally Lizzie. So that's kind
you
of.
just hit 5K too.
I just hit 5,000 subscribers. So it's just a blessing. And honestly, you all are the reason why I keep doing this. Just getting feedback and DMs and just all of this love and support and your questions. That means that I may know something, and I want to celebrate these wins. And I shouldn't feel like I should hide it. So that's something I have to work on with myself. So I don't know. It's crazy. But, you know, moving here to Florida has opened up a whole world of opportunities for us. It's really not only in our business, but also other relationships and just everything that we've been around. It's really helped us grow as individuals and also as a couple. We've learned a lot about each other through this experience because we've separated ourselves from immediate family, and that was really hard and that was difficult. But then I'm blessed to have my parents here, so that's been nice. But then again, his immediate family is not here, and they're just a big support to us, and we love them a lot. We love them so much. So yeah, but that's just a little tidbit of where Naturally Lizzie came from. So I figured I'd just throw that in there in case you didn't know. But yeah. So that's it for our chit chat. It's almost an hour. Sorry it's so long, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. This was fun. Let us know if you want us to do more of these kind of random Q&A time of just getting to know us. Maybe ask like what he does. I don't know.
I think they know what I do.
Yeah, he's a carpenter, guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. We appreciate each one of you. I'm praying that each of you are safe, healthy, and yeah, I mean, we'll get through this, guys. So that's it. All right. So we guys, Hold on.
It's a new word.
I don't know how to talk. Sorry. You see the things that I have to edit out. I have to edit out a whole bunch of stuff. But thank you guys so much for being a part of today's live Q&A, and we will see you in another video. Bye.